Okay, hi everyone. So a question I get all the time is about using oils with pets. So I decided that it was time to put together a class and go over the most common oils, the top 10 oils for pets, and then just some typical uses. So um, I've also, oh yay, Carly. I've also put together like a slideshow because I want to go over, there's a lot of just basic things that you need to cover and that you want to know. So I'm going to jump into that first. So I'm just going to cover what are essential oils, why doTERRA oils with pets, the top 10, and then safety guidelines that you want to remember when using them with pets, and then how to get started with your oils and tips for common things that I use on my dogs all the time, and then any questions that you might have that I have not answered. Okay, so what are essential oils? They're just the aromatic compounds that are in plants, like different parts of the plants, as you can see there. They're either steam distilled or cold compressed, and they're really highly concentrated. So they're really potent and effective, and if you're used to herbs and stuff, they're 50 to 70 times more potent. So, and then just historically, they've been used over time for healthcare and food preparation and a whole lot of other things. The other thing you should know is that not all oils are created equal. So that is meaning that the problem with any oils that you might just go and see in the store, there's no industry-wide standard. They can be distributed and through one or more brokers to make a blend or different things like that. The sources may not always be known. You may not know what's in them or if they're synthetic or diluted or cut with fillers or cheaper oils, okay? And synthetic oils can really have unwanted results. They can be unsafe and toxic. They can also disrupt your hormone and endocrine system. So I just wanted to throw that out there. And this is a difference with doTERRA. So they work directly with the farmers and they test for the quality and the composition that's in those oils. They know what's in there. They test after they're distilled, both in the house and by a third-party lab for accountability. So over on the right-hand side, you can see that there's synthetic ones, there's food safety ones that you can use to cook with, and then there's therapeutic grade. And CPTG is certified pure therapeutic grade. That is what doTERRA is. And then it's safe for cooking. It's used therapeutically and all of that. And here again is why doTERRA. So the thing is, not only do we know where they're grown and harvested, and they're harvested in ideal conditions to make sure all the things that go into growing them are the best for that plant and that there's sustained responsibly. And they do fair trade, and they also help the places that they contract with in getting those plants. So what that means is that's the co-impact sourcing, and you can look into that. Source2u.com explains about their rigorous testing and all that. But they also help the communities where they're getting this. The countries that need the help, they get it there and they help that country as well. So you can read up on that later. But the certified pure therapeutic grade quality is a quality that's beyond organic. So people talk about organic, know that organic is good, but this is going to be a higher quality because of it's their internal standard of excellence, but they know what is in every single liter of oil, and they test that and they make sure that it's safe, effective, and high quality. So I wanted to go into that because I have personally experienced negative effects from essential oils in my family, and that was before I found doTERRA and didn't know that there was anything to worry about. So now I feel responsible to make sure that I share that with people because there is a big difference, and that is why I stay using doTERRA, because I know that I don't have to have that concern. Now, how to use the essential oils with dogs, right? So just like people, we can use it aromatically. So you will diffuse it, you could spray it in the air, and believe it or not, that is enough to help them. They can inhale it directly. You will let them inhale it. And I do have a guest dog because I'm not at home. And so we have a friend that has brought her dog to show some different things. They can also, you can put it on a cloth and just put it by them or in the kennel with them. You can put it on a cotton ball and that's enough, right? And you can also put it on their bedding to help them. Then you can use hot water or steam. You can put it in a humidifier or a fan or air filter. And those are ways that will help them aromatically. Topically, so the best thing that you need to remember, and the most important thing, is dilution. Dogs and cats and animals are very, I'm not going to say sensitive because they are sensitive, but the point with this is that their metabolism and stuff doesn't process as quickly as ours, so it lasts in their body a lot longer, and the potency is going to be a lot stronger for them. So we want to dilute it because they only need that little bit since it's so strong, like the oil is so strong. So you could dilute it. You could put it directly on their spine, along their spine. You can massage it on them. You could put it on their reflex points, which if you don't know, people have reflexology on their hands and feet, and so do dogs. So I'm going to show you what those reflex points are. There's something called ear tipping, and you'll rub it along their ear. Then any area of interest. So if they have a sore, you know, whatever that area is that is bothering them, that would be the area of interest. Then you can also add it to shampoo, which I do for myself too. But if you're trying to help them with a condition, whether it be pest or whether it be their skin, you can put a couple drops in their shampoo and just use it that way, because it will be diluted with all the other stuff, right? And I would say use doTERRA shampoo because you know what's in there and you know that it's safe. And a lot of vets use it for their dogs as well as a conditioner, and so do I. And you can do a hot cold compress or a roller bottle. And then if you see over here on the right, I put the dilution ratio for their weight, because that's going to determine how fast it metabolizes through their body and stuff like that. And I thought this was really confusing until I was consulting with a vet. Her name's Janet Rourke. She is on Facebook as the Essential Oil Vet, and she was going to hop on. However, her class that she goes live every Sunday is at the same time. But she showed me this, and it tells you how many drops of the essential oil to how many drops of the carrier oil that you're going to use. So that is much easier for you to look at and be able to do with your dogs, so that you're not going to have any problems or concerns or anything like that. So I wanted to put that in here. Animals. So let me tell you, it's only their hind paws, because that would be their feet. And just like people, the bottom of your feet are just easier and more conducive to use with your organs. And if you think about it with dogs, yes, they use their front paws and they run on them, but they put a lot more in their back paws, and it will be circulating more. So hind paws are the ones that we want to use. And if you look, if you see 1, 2, 3, those are the areas that we use for eyes, sinuses, ears, things like that. And then you can see the other reflex points for lungs, trachea, liver, colon, brain, pituitary, thyroid, your intestines, or their intestines, their spine, their heart, their thymus, kidney, stomach, and adrenals. So let me point out to this, because this looks like you may be putting it on their pads. And let me tell you, you don't want to put it on their pads. Their pads actually are not porous and don't really absorb. So this picture could be misleading if you just glance at it and you're not really more informed. You might put it on that pad and it would do no good. So what you actually want to do is rub it along the skin that is right above the area that it's pointing to. So at the bottom. Does she like her paws? Does she mind her paws touched at all?
She's good.
Okay.
She knows shake.
Oh yeah, okay. Let me see if I can share our pet. This is Bailey, and I'm gonna see if she'll, Briar. Sorry, I have another dog named Bailey that I help sometimes. And I'm gonna see if she will, can you shake? Shake. I wonder if you can see. She thinks I have a treat. Good job. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see, but on their pads right here, so you can touch there, and sometimes it tickles. So let me just tell you, our dog is very ticklish between there. But if they lay down and they relax, you can often just go ahead and put it between the pads on their feet. So, you know, you just put it on the top or on the bottom, you know, this area that you see. So I think you can grasp that. But when I first saw this, I thought it was the pads, and then I listened to a couple of vets, and they told me not the pad, the skin that's right above that area or right below that area. So keep that in mind if you're trying to do it topically. So the other way you can do it is internally. So people don't think that dogs can do it internally, and they don't think that most people can do it internally, but you can. So you do want to limit it no more than 1 or 2 drops at a time, okay? Because they are still potent, and most people only need 1 or 2 drops of one individual oil, but definitely with dogs. The best thing is mix it with food. So you could just drop it in their food. Like I have used Copaiba with my dog, and we just drop it on his food, and he eats it at dinner time. He loves it. He likes it, how it tastes, how it smells. So that's easy to do to give to them, right? But sometimes, and this has happened to me, you might have an oil that they don't really want to eat. And so then you could do it in a capsule with some carrier oil. You never just want to do the oil plain. You want to have a carrier oil in there. And you could do 1 drop of essential oil for 2 drops of drinking water. If you want them to drink it for different reasons, you will want them to drink it. But do not put this water where cats will drink it, because cats can't really do it internally like this. So lemon oil is really good for people, and it's really good for dogs. So you can do 1 or 2 drops for 2 cups of water and let them drink that, and they will lap it up. They will just love it. And let them drink it, and then just put it up. You could save it for them for later or anything like that. The other way is really interesting. So you can get a natural toothpaste, or you can make your own natural toothpaste. And the reason I'm going to say this is the doTERRA toothpaste is not okay for dogs because it has xylitol in it, which is not okay for dogs. Okay, so you don't want to use that one, and you want to check natural toothpastes, because a lot of natural toothpaste will have that in it. So if you find one that doesn't, you can use that, or you can just make your own. So you could take 1 drop of the essential oil, 2 tablespoons of baking soda, because it won't hurt dogs, and then you just put a little bit of coconut oil, just enough to where it makes a paste that you can use and put it on their gums or their teeth, because they'll be getting the oil and it's internal and it only takes a few seconds, but they're not going to fight it. There's not going to be a big mess or anything like that. So there's another way that you want to do it. My dogs, this is a funny story, but they have, they're sensitive to different things. Our puppy is sensitive to even fleas, and she will get bubbly all along her body, her face, her nose will bubble up. And so we use lavender, lemon, and peppermint. Now, the lavender and lemon, they will just eat it on a piece of bread. They love it. It's like, peppermint, not so much, because it's minty, right? And so we got a capsule and was putting like cheese around it. Like all dogs love cheese. Our dogs were so smart that they would eat the cheese and literally just spit out the pill, just the pill. And so I was like, okay, we have to get them to eat this. And so we did it, and it really helps a lot. So it's just like you would give a dog Benadryl, which, you know, is okay to give dogs, but this would be all natural, and it works the same way for those results that you want. So yeah, any kind of inflammation or you know, those reactions that they might get when they're sensitive to it. So the important thing to remember is dilution. Like I said, I can't stress that out enough. You can start, and there's some that you don't really need to dilute as much, but start out more diluted when introducing them, because they'll get comfortable with it, and then they know what it is, and they'll tend to like it. The carrier oils to use would be fractionated coconut oil, which doTERRA has. You can use extra virgin olive oil. You can use almond oil, any of those natural oils, not vegetable oil, not that kind of stuff. So you can always increase the concentration, right? If the desired effect is not reached, you can give them a little bit more of it. But the reason why I say to dilute it more at first is because you can always add more, but you can't remove it once you've already given it to them, right? And each animal is going to be different. So our older dog, sometimes we give him more of one, where our younger dog takes the same thing and a little bit less of it. She doesn't need as much. So you just will have to look at your pet, and just as we do with our people, we look at it and see how I may need it or how your pet may need it. And then you can increase it when you see the effects wearing off, which might be, you know, one pet might need it sooner, the other one could be doing just fine. So you just have to do that with your pet. Observe their behavior, and literally they will tell you. So anybody that's concerned with using oils, I can tell you, first of all, the animal will tell you whether they want the oil or not. And second of all, if you're, most of the time, you can just diffuse it, okay? Now the question is with cats. So we don't really give cats internally, and rarely would you do it topically for cats either, because they are more sensitive than dogs. And diffusing it is enough for them, okay? You can diffuse it, you can use it on them, but what you would want to do is never, when you're diffusing, never have it in a room where they're locked. So if you're going to diffuse it in a room, have a door open where they can leave that room if they're uncomfortable and they don't like it, because that's what they're going to do. If they don't like it and they're feeling any kind of uneasiness or whatever, they're going to leave that room, okay? So as long as they leave the room, they're going to be fine. They're not going to be harmed by it. And just like us, sometimes we may like an oil and another time we may not really want that. Just like a dinner or something like that. It's the same idea. Okay, so diffusing it, I've diffused it, and you can tell sometimes my cat will just stay in the room. I've had 2 cats that we've used oils with, diffusing it. And so sometimes you can just diffuse it and the cat will be fine. Sometimes I didn't know that they needed it and they will lay by the diffuser. And our dogs will do that too. I'll be diffusing on guard and they will lay by the diffuser. So that is a way to know that they need something and you weren't really even aware of that, you know. So just observe them. If within 10 minutes, 10 to 20 minutes, you would see any result that you're going to see. So if they're going to have some kind of adverse effect that the cat didn't like it or something, because just like medication, right? I might take a medicine that works for somebody else, but it doesn't really work for me, or I have an adverse reaction to it, right? Just not that it's going to kill me, but I'm more sensitive to it than other people. So that happens commonly, and it can happen with pets too. So anything that would happen between 10 to 20 minutes. And if you see that, it's, you know, just let them do it, they'll be fine. But the next time you do it, dilute it more and they won't have that effect to it. Okay. I'm going to show you how a pet will tell you if they like an oil or not. It's pretty simple, and I have a video that I can show too. But okay, I'm just going to do, and like if you get the lavender roll-on, it's already diluted properly for a dog, so it's really easy to use with them. Briar, hey, come see, girl. So I was showing Briar's mommy and my mom how easy this is. Come see Briar. Come see. Okay, you can see her. So see how, like, well, she's not really interested. Look. But you see how she touches it with her nose? Come see. Come see. Okay, cool. She will touch it with her nose, and then let me see if I can get her to look at another one, like lemon. Hey, Briar, do you like this? Okay, did you see she still put her mouth on it? If she does not like it at all, she will not even, Briar, you like this one? Look, right here. Do you want this? Hey, do you want this? Okay, see, she doesn't really hate it. She just doesn't really have an interest in it either. But if they did not like it, they won't even touch it with their nose. They won't touch it. They won't even get by it, okay? So you want to do another one? You want to do another? When she first got here, she started licking one of them. Do you like this one? So you can tell that she's okay with that one, but the ones that she's going to like the most, say you looked up some kind of issue that you had, some concern that you had for your dog, and it listed 3 or 4 oils, right? You could take all of them out and let the dog tell you which one they're going to need. So the one that they're gonna need, the one that you should use, is the one that they keep their nose by, sniff a lot, lick the bottle. That's the one you're gonna wanna use. So I'm gonna show you a video because I wasn't sure how long she would do it. So you'll see the dog smell it and see how it lays down. Not all dogs are gonna lay down, but that was a no. Again, and she's trying different oils. I guess the volume won't play while I'm doing it on Zoom, but if you see this, this is Roman chamomile. She likes this oil. So you can see she keeps on smelling it. She's licking the bottle. That oil she really likes. So you can, her tail's wagging. She's happy. This oil, no, not that one. It's a no. This oil, see how she's moving her nose away? Nope, doesn't want that oil. She doesn't have to roll over, but you can tell she's avoiding the bottle. So that's not, she's okay. She's okay with that. Not really her favorite, but she doesn't want it either. She's telling you she doesn't want it. So this one, nope, does not want to get by that oil, does not like it. She's saying, no, not that oil, no thank you. So she sits up, and this oil, she doesn't even, I don't think she even comes by this oil, but they can smell it. When you let them choose, you want to keep the cap on because their noses are so powerful. You don't need to take the cap off. They'll be able to smell it through the cap. So I wanted to make sure I got that in there too. But that, you can see how easily, how dogs really do communicate, just people are dumb. It's not, the dogs are smart and they can communicate. People just don't really realize that they'll communicate. And I work with dogs a lot, and people ask me all the time how I know how they learn so quickly. But I follow the dog's lead and I listen to the dog, and they have ways to show you. We just have to get used to their little language, right? So you can see if the dog was turning away and doesn't even want to get by an oil, do not use that oil at all. It's not going to go well for them, right? And then if you put it by them and they're like, okay, all right, that's okay. See if there's one that they like better. If they're like, okay, they like that oil, right? They really like it. If they sit, if they lick that oil, if they lick that bottle, then you probably just want to use that one. You know, that's the one that they like the most. And you could test the different ones and see which ones they like the most. And you could pick one that they like the most and one that they were really liking but maybe not licking. You could combine those two as well. So people are surprised when they see the dogs reacting like Briar did, or the dog that was in the video, that they will actually show you a big dramatic difference. So with the cat, it's going to be the same way. They're going to leave the room. They're not going to come and lick something. That's just not a cat's personality. But they will just stay in the room and chill out. You'll see them lay down and relax, or you'll see them walk away. Okay, and then you just want to keep an eye on them if it's the first time using that oil, to make sure that they aren't like, they don't vomit because maybe it upset their stomach, or, you know, if they shake or something, then you definitely don't use that oil again. But I'm going to tell you the oils to avoid and some more precautions. You know, when you're using it with them, you want to dilute it topical, like I've said. You want to know your pet's health status. So make sure that they don't have any kind of condition that, you know, if they have a medical condition, then you might want to look up that medical condition first to make sure that some of the oils aren't going to affect that. That's all that means. And you can ask your vet. Contrary to belief, a lot of vets actually have knowledge of some oils, and I see some vets that are selling it in their office. Maybe not our oils, but they have treats with oils. Let's just say that. I see a lot of treats with oils, or they'll tell you with signs what to diffuse for calming or for introducing dogs together. So do not use oils near or in the eyes or the ears and the nose or the genitals. Okay, those are sensitive areas. Use water in your diffuser and allow the animal to roam freely, and leave the doors open so that they can still roam freely. They might have to go that far. Caution around animals that are pregnant or nursing or young or have certain medical conditions, like I said before. But just, you know, nursing, pregnant, and young, it's the same thing with people. We dilute them more, and we're cautioned with certain oils for that time. Do not use oils if you're using a topical medication with like a dermal pathway, because they're already getting something on their skin and their body's going to be more more responsive to things. And do not give any products containing xylitol. The beadlets and the toothpaste of doTERRA have that in it, and there's some other things that have it in it. So you want to just, before you give anything, make sure it does not have that in there. They put beadlets, I'm pretty sure, because On Guard is good for animals, but that beadlet wouldn't be that way. So I think some people might have thought they could do that. So they would put it on there as a cautionary. So only use certified pure therapeutic grade oils, because then you know you're not going to have any other concerns with your dogs. And then observe your pet's behavior, like I said, so that you can see if they're just calm after that and they just like it, or whether it's an oil that they just don't want to have again. You know, you'll be able to tell. Adverse reactions. This is what I was telling you I was going to get into. You know, you want to dilute it with the carrier oils. Most any reaction will resolve within 24 hours. So just make sure the next time you dilute it with a carrier oil, again, more than you did the first time. It doesn't mean that you don't want to use that oil, just means that it was not diluted enough, unless you saw that they didn't like it, right? But if you used oil that they seemed to like and they had some kind of reaction, they can use it again. Sometimes you just have to cut it more. Skin irritation is usually the thing that you'll see, okay? And then you're just going to use lavender diluted for that. And then discontinue and do not use again if you see distress where they're pacing or they just seem uncomfortable. Drooling, if they're squinting, it means that they're having a response. Like, it's just not common for dogs to be squinting and blinking so much, right? If they're rubbing their face, that would be like you have an allergic reaction where you're just like, you know, so you're having a reaction. If they vocalize, some dogs will like make noises like often, you know, that's not their typical behavior. So if it's something out of the ordinary, you know, then, because some people can get overly concerned and their dog is just doing the normal thing. So you have to remember, is this something that they do? If they're shaking, vomiting, or diarrhea, okay. And oils to avoid with dogs would be birch, melaleuca, or wintergreen. And then these oils that are listed next does not mean that you cannot use them, because actually you can, just means they're hot. They're hot with people too. So cassia, cinnamon, clove, oregano, rosemary, and thyme are all hot oils that can be used. Just have to use caution, like you would want it in a capsule, extra diluted, or diffuse it, but just extra, you know, sparingly. There you go. If you want to get oils to start with your dogs, this is how. We do have a membership for $35 for the year. And after that, that's your membership. You get 25% off of the products. It's shipped directly to your door, and $3.99 is the cheap flat rate for shipping, and it usually gets to our house in 3 to 5 days. There's no obligation to buy. There's no monthly fees. There's no obligation to teach, share, sell, do what I'm doing, anything like that. It's just letting you purchase any of the oils that you want for your animals at a discount. And you can start with a kit. If you do start with a kit, your membership is free. And then they have like quarterly promotions that they do for, you know, buy this and you get this. And the second year, it's going to be $25. I didn't put that on here, but the second year, it's $25, and you get a free peppermint bottle of oil. So yeah. Loyalty reward programs. So this is, if you do decide to get a membership, they have a rewards program, and same thing, no hassle. It has auto ship. You can cancel at any time. But with that, if you see every month that you order, every 3 months, you get an additional percentage back. You can change your stuff all the time. And it's about 1 PV to keep your points per month, 50 to move up every month. You have to do 50 to keep on moving along the lines. Yeah, and if you do 125, you get the free product of the month that they have every month. That's just some additional information, but I wanted to make sure to share it, because so many people that I have told about the oils, tell them what to do with their dogs, then they're like, how do I order this? And then I need to tell them, oh, you can get a membership and you can get it discounted. So yeah, you won't pay retail this way, but yeah, several people have come back to me. Oh, and if you do get started, then we have a Facebook group have one. My other friends have one, and we answer lots of questions in them to give you support and stuff like that. And we have product education, and we have health education, kind of like this for pets, but for people, and access to webinars and stuff like that. And then I always consult with you for free, and you can go to my website right there too if you want to get stuff. Okay, but this part of it, I was going to let me and Elizabeth tell you some common uses, and then that was it. Oh, and I have the top 10 oils, but it's like a 5-minute little video, and it's actually from Janet Rourke. She just goes over the top 10 oils. Do you want me to show that real quick? Would that be best to do next? Yeah? Okay, let me do that real quick.
Frankincense, this is an awesome oil that promotes healthy cellular function, health, very relaxing and calming, great for mood balance, soothes aches and pains. I use this a lot with my senior dog. It supports the nervous system. So, anything to do with the nervous system, from the brain and spinal cord to the nerve, it supports those. You can use it aromatically or topically. The frankincense blend, or the frankincense oil that doTERRA has, is actually a blend of 4 different species of frankincense. All frankincense, but 4 different species, which is very unique because you get the best of all 4 of them in one oil. You don't have to buy a separate one. And when in doubt, use frankincense. So frankincense, we call it the king of oils. You can see in the top photo, we had a bump that was treated, or we applied diluted frankincense and oregano in this particular case. And you can see this owner actually wasn't real consistent about applying it, but she, a month later it was totally fine. A little bit of flaky skin, but that's it. And on the bottom photo, we had a situation where a dog was bit by another dog. This is about a week. The first photo is about a week after it happened. It wasn't infected, but it was an open wound, very, very deep. And so we put the cone of shame on, applied a blend with frankincense in it, and then a week later you can see it's already granulated in, and then just a week later it's almost completely closed and healed up very, very nicely without stitches or anything like that. So the next oil we're going to talk about is Digestive Zen. I know somebody asked about that. This one in particular, for all things digestive. So you want to maintain healthy digestion. It helps reduce bloating, gas, indigestion. If you're sitting on the couch and your spouse likes to blame the dog for the stinky part, you can also apply it to people. And this is the oil that you're going to reach for. If you have animals, if you have dogs, you're always going to want to keep this one on hand in case they get into a trash or get into something outside and start having digestive problems. You can apply this immediately. You're going to want to have it on hand. You can apply it immediately while you're trying to decide if it's an emergency situation where you need to go run to the veterinarian or not. And I will say, if your dog is vomiting for more than 24 hours, it is an emergency. Go to your veterinarian in that case. But you can dilute this one out to a 1% to 2% dilution, which is 2 drops per 100 drops of carrier oil, and then just apply it every 2 hours to their abdomen. It helps this oil has helped so many dogs that have suffer from getting sick in the car sickness. So they get nauseous when they're in a car moving because they're not used to that. Maybe they get stressed out because of cars, and that causes vomiting. So if you apply this about 15 minutes before you go for a ride in the car, I like to include lavender in with it if there's a stress response for car rides, and you will have a very pleasant car ride. I've had dogs that can't go for car rides at all with Digestion and lavender can take a trip across the country now. So super wonderful, wonderful oil. You can use this one topically or internally. I suppose you could use it aromatically, but it smells like black licorice a little bit because it has aniseed, so it might be one that you're not really a fan of diffusing, but you certainly can. I love to use this one with one of our supplements called Parazyme. Parazyme is our digestive enzyme supplement. You can use it with dogs. Just put those digestive enzymes in their food, and it promotes normal digestion, healthy digestion. And particularly if you're feeding a kibble, they do need extra enzymes to help digest that food that is shelf stable, and you'll be really, really happy with the results. On Guard, I love this picture of this pug in a blanket. So On Guard is our protective blend. This is for all things immune supporting. So whether you need immune support to protect against your dog is going to be boarded at a kennel, you're on vacation, or introduced to other dogs that you don't know their health status of during vacation or on a vet visit, or if you are trying to combat some of those immune dysfunctions that can happen when you have tick bites and things like that. So this protects against environmental threats. It's great for cleaning the air. It doesn't actually clean the air, but it helps address any of the stuff that's in the air. I'm trying to be compliant, guys. Okay, and it also promotes natural antioxidant defense. So there's a ton of antioxidant supporting oils in this oil. You can use it as an all-purpose cleaner for surfaces, counters, floors, kennels. I really, really like this one for that. This also has rosemary in it and some other oils that are very, very supportive of the respiratory system. It's a great one to use. It is a hot oil, so you want to dilute it to 1% to 2% for dogs, and if you're applying it topically. Lavender, we talked about a lot last week. We talked about calming. This is for all things calming, though, right? So it's very relaxing. Skin. It's great for ancient healing. We talked about it for car rides already. Great for applying topically during fireworks or thunderstorms. It promotes peaceful sleep if you have a dog that likes to get up in the middle of the night and sleep. It can be topically diffused or actually used internally, and I really like this for the dogs that have itchy skin part of the year, and I use this in combination with peppermint and lemon internally. Lemon, lavender, and peppermint. Really, really helpful for those dogs, particularly when you use it with a really high dose of omega-3s. doTERRA has one called IQ Omega, which is a liquid omega-3 for kids. With dogs, the dose for that is 1 teaspoon per 20 pounds of body weight. So half a teaspoon per 10 pounds of body weight for dogs. This photo is a great one. My friend Melissa, this is her dog. She sent me the before picture, at night when I'm in bed already, and she was like, she let her dogs out, and he was very, very swollen. He got into something. We don't know if he got stung by something or he ate something he wasn't supposed to. But I was like, grab your lavender. She put 1 drop of lavender and a teaspoon of cooked coconut oil in her hand, rubbed her hands together, and just massaged it over his face, being really careful not to get it in his eyes. And about 15 minutes later, all of the swelling was gone. So she sent me that picture, and I was like, I guess I don't need to come over. It was great. Lemon is the next oil we're going to talk about today. That's in our kit. It's a natural detoxifier, very supportive of the urinary tract, of the renal system. It's a natural cleaning agent. It purifies the air and surfaces. I love using this in combination with On Guard surfaces throughout the home. You can also use it to remove sticky substances from fur. So if your dog, your kid put some gum in your dog's hair, or they got like underneath the pine trees in your backyard, this can help get that sticky gum out of their fur. It's also wonderful for healthy respiratory function. I really like this one for puppies that need a little bit of extra respiratory support. Very uplifting, helps promote energy and mood if you have a dog that's very sad because of something that happened, and this is a great oil for that. This is one that you can use in their water dish. Remember, 1 drop for 2 cups of water. Try to use a dispersant like vegetable glycerin or honey in there as well if you decide to do that. Peppermint's the next oil in our kit. This one is, we already talked about lemon, peppermint, and lavender for dogs with skin. But this one I use a lot this time of year with dogs. I live in Texas. It's extremely hot outside, and so you can actually use it to keep your dog cool in the summer. Just put 10 drops of peppermint and about 8 ounces of distilled water. Make sure you shake it up before you use it, or you can put a little vegetable glycerin in there too. Shake it up before you use it. Spritz the coat with a couple of spritz, and it helps cool in the summertime when they're outside. This is also a great one for stomach upset, for respiratory function, and you can put a drop in 2 tablespoons of baking soda, or you can do a tablespoon of baking soda and a tablespoon of bentonite clay. Mix it with a little bit of solid coconut oil to make it taste, and actually brush their teeth with it. So make a natural teeth that way. Aroma Touch is the next one. I love this one for senior pets. This one is very, very supportive of joints and muscles. You can apply it topically for a great relaxing massage. It's perfect for senior dogs. I use this often with the deep blue polyphenol complex capsules, supplement that doTERRA has that has, turmeric and resveratrol in it, and it's super great for internal use for that. And then using Aroma Touch topically. This one you want to use topically, and you can just use it as well. It's very supportive of lymphatic flow, so if you have a little bit of swelling somewhere as a result of not moving, it can help with that. It also helps with circulation. This is a great one for relaxing tense muscles and sore joints. Breathe is the next one we're going to talk about today. This one promotes clear airways. It supports overall respiratory health and breathing. It can be diffused or used topically on their chest or on their collar, or you can put it on a bandana and put it around their neck. You can use it at night for a restful, quiet sleep. It's great for dogs that snore, and also great for kennel situations. So I love using this one in combination with On Guard to kind of combat any kind of potential respiratory threat that might be in the air, and keep those dogs healthy when they're in the kennel. So if you have a kennel that you know of, or you own a kennel, or you board dogs at your home, this is a great one in combination with On Guard in those situations. Now we're going to talk about my absolute favorite oil of all time, Balance, which is our grounding and relaxing blend, or our grounding blend. It's very relaxing. It promotes mental tranquility and balance. Very great for a restful sleep. Very comforting. I always apply this prior to applying any of the other oils. You can apply it topically once a day. This is one that's already pre-diluted, so you do not need to dilute it more. Just put a drop in your hands, rub them together, and then rub your dog along the spine, like we talked about, or on the tips of the ears. You can just use it in your car without. It's very calming without and helps ease anxious feelings. This is one of the ones that I like to use in situations with lavender and serenity in cases like fireworks, thunderstorms, things like that, where you need a little bit extra calming. If you're a veterinarian or a vet tech and you work in a veterinary hospital, that combination is wonderful for spraying on towels, spray cats, and make that kitty burrito, and apply it, spray it on muzzles, muzzle a dog or a cat in order to do treatment that are very fractious animals. And this one also supports the nervous system. So remember, our nervous system is the brain, spinal cord, and all the nerves associated with that. So this one, in conjunction with frankincense, very, very supportive of the nervous system. Also copaiba, which we're going to talk about next. Apply it topically or diffuse it. And then our last oil that we're going to talk about in our top 10 is copaiba. If you're watching this in July or you're watching the live video, this is free with the kits we're going to talk about today. So this is one of the wonderful, wonderful oils. So it's extremely versatile. So this one addresses and supports the cardiovascular system, which is the heart and the muscles, the immune system, the digestive tract, the urinary system, the respiratory system, the musculoskeletal system, which is all the muscles and all the bones and all the joints, and the nervous touch with your senior dog, and it supports the upper and lower respiratory tract as well as the mucous membrane. It's a foundation for cellular health. And give this one every single day with frankincense. Internally, you can also apply it topically and diffuse it. So it emotionally is very relaxing, help soothe and calm anxiousness and decrease stress and feelings of overwhelm.
Just the last few minutes that we have, I was just going to tell you, like, there's some things that I've done. Like, I have done the lemon and water, the copaiba. I do use it with my dog for his musculoskeletal things, with his hips and stuff like that. For him, he was having trouble going up the steps, so and his feet were sliding out from underneath him. So we started putting it in his food, and it's crazy, but he is 12. Yes, he's 12. He started acting like a puppy again. Like, I didn't even know he could jump on the sofa, but he was like just a spring in his step again. He was just feeling better, and everybody could tell. We would go to the dog park. He was more social, so it just helped whatever, all his organs and stuff like that were going on too. But he had no trouble going up the stairs or jumping on the sofa. Like, we were literally carrying him up the stairs. So so there's like just a thing about copaiba. I've said that we use the lavender, lemon, and peppermint for those kind of inflammation or reactions that they have to nature and stuff like that. I don't have it with me, but I have a roller blend that I make for my older dog. Has chronic ear infections so bad that nothing on the market works for him. We had the University of Georgia actually go into their lab and take 2 sets of cultures to see what would work for him. Okay. So he's had chronic ear infections for a long time, and the scar tissue from that made him deaf. But we always had to keep him on medication at this point in his life. So we took a blend, and I found it just in the little, if you look up Spoil Your Pet, it's an app and it's a book, and it has recommendations of what to do for different conditions. You can look up any condition. So, hey, I keep saying Briar. So I would take the roller and I would put about 4 drops of each of the oils, and I can get that recipe and add it to the bottom of this. But see, Briar, I would just rub it right in front of his ear for my dog or for her, and then right behind their ear, just on the back, and there's nothing in it. And I would just roll it on there right behind their ear and then right in front of it. And I know where it said do not use oils in eyes, ears, and stuff like that, but the vet was the one that told us to do that because what they mean is not near the inside. So they don't mean like on the inside part of it, but the skin in front of the ear is close enough to the ear that it'll go into the canal and it'll help it. So that's not what they mean. I don't want you to be confused when it says don't use it near the ear. The skin in front and that little bone that goes behind them is totally okay to use it. But you got to remember that they have fur and you're trying to get it to the skin. So you want to roll it like really back so that it kind of goes to that and saturates it with the roller. So we would do that every night with our dog. And sometimes we did it morning and night if he really started acting up. But since we've been doing that, no more medication, like no ear infections. He's been clear. So it's just keeping that environment healthy and promoting a healthy environment there so that he doesn't get the infection. He's a cocker and his ears kind of hang down. So it's an environment that with their ears being covered and they get hot, it just creates an environment for fungus and infections to set in constantly. So, and they're known, that breed is known to have ear infections. So that was something that we do with my other dog. Like I said, she gets into things outside, and next thing you know, like that dog that she showed that they used the lavender for, same thing. Will come in and her nose will be swollen or lopsided. And we could just take this lavender and just roll it on there, and she will get better. But and I said the copaiba. There's a few other things that, so another big thing was digestin. Our dog was having diarrhea and throwing up, and didn't want to eat. So it was getting pretty bad. So Janet Orr, she's on Facebook, and you can message her. And you can also search on her Facebook page. Like you could search a thing and it'll pull up anything that has been, talked about or commented on that. But I didn't see anything that was like going over all three, just one or the other. And I knew that that's a bad sign for dogs. So I messaged her, and you can pay for the consult. I don't remember if it's $40, but you can pay and she'll just consult you directly. And she was really quick with the response. So I think within an hour, I mean, I know that's relatively quick, but yeah, she got back and she said, okay, you can take digestin. And she said you want to put 1 drop of the digestin oil and like 3 or 4 drops of the coconut oil. And I just rubbed it in my hands and went underneath his tummy and just rubbed it all along his belly. And so she told us that if we did not see any improvement, we wanted to take him to the ER. So she said wait that night and see, if he threw up again after that, if he had anything after that point, to take him to the ER. If he did okay, to observe him the next morning and continue to do it in the morning and do it at night until we didn't see that condition. So we did it that night. He was fine. The next morning, he was fine. We did it again the next morning. We did it that night, and we waited that night to see, how he was. He ate a little bit that night, but when he went to the bathroom, he still had like a little bit of diarrhea. So we did it again that night. So the next morning, like all dogs go to the bathroom first thing in the morning. So we just waited to see if he needed it or not. It was same, just not terrible, but a little bit of diarrhea. So we did it again that next morning. And then that night, nothing. He ate, no more throwing up, nothing. And he was fine. So she checked up, and we told him we told her he's doing fine. She's like, oh, good. I told her it did take like 2.5 days or 3 days, but he was okay. And so she said, yeah, as long as he's doing good and doing better, then that's good. But if you see he's still doing it with the digestion, then you need to get him into the ER. So yeah, I can't think of the other things that I might have done, although I know there are things, but those are some things that I commonly do routinely with my dogs, like every week. Oh, and we diffuse On Guard. It is good with ear infections, with skin flare-ups or anything. They say just diffuse that. So we'll diffuse it, and they say do it a couple times a day for half an hour or more. So we'll just, if I leave, I'll put it on for them. And but sometimes if I'm working in the office, I'll just diffuse it. And sometimes I'll see one dog come and just lay by me, and I didn't even know that they had anything going on. But then after, sometimes I realize, oh, her nose was a little bit inflamed, and I didn't really tell. So yeah, they'll like it, and if not, they can leave the room or whatever. But it really has been a good immune booster because they were getting so many of those things all the time. So as we diffused that more, we started seeing them have less and less trouble. So for immune support, if you have a dog that is always having like allergy type issues, respiratory or skin or that kind of stuff, you can consider using On Guard to help their support system. And the Copaiba helps that too. So we were putting in their food as well at night. So I don't know, Elizabeth, do you have any things that you thought of to share?
Just the same. Basically, I have used the digestin internally for my dog because she did have a lot of skin irritations and allergies, and I've given her a couple of drops of that in a veggie cap.
Oh, okay.
And she's an American Staffy, so she's about 24 kilos. So I've done that a couple of times, and that seems to have settled because the immune system is also part of the irritation on the skin if the digestion of the stomach is not working well.
Yeah.
So with the cats, there's not a lot. I've diffused a lot of oils. I've used the On Guard concentrate to clean the floors because when they're walking around, if you're cleaning with toxic cleaners, and they lick their paws, so they're digesting all those chemicals. So I do a lot of that. I do diffuse. There was another thing about also when your pets are anxious and stuff, also look at the family members because they do pick up energetically around people. So also look at what's going on in your home, and if you can use more oils to calm the family members down, that also helps the pets as well, obviously. And obviously using them helps everyone in the house.
That's true. My daughter would get anxious and our dog would get anxious. So, and then our puppy doesn't like car rides, which I didn't even know. I thought all dogs like car rides, but not the case for her. So we have used lavender and balance, and we can diffuse it in our car. But I can do lavender like on her collar, or I can diffuse it like a half an hour before we go on a ride. So then she's already calm, and then she does better in the car ride. It doesn't bother her as much. We can do the digestion as well because that's with the motion in the tummy. So we've done those things, and I didn't remember it until you said it. But yeah, it really made a difference because she would cry the whole time in the car. And then sometimes she wanted to go, like I would say, do you want to go to the dog park? And she would get all excited. Do you want to go to the park? She would get all excited, but you have to go in the car. And you could hear her like for the 10 minutes, the first 10 minutes, she'd be like, okay. Then she'd be like trying not to cry, but you know, and the next thing you know, oh, sorry. And then the next thing you know, she's like crying or whatever, you know. So we started doing that, and it really made, you know, her anxiety. And then I think maybe she might be a dog that just has like that car sick feeling, you know. So we do those, the digestion and the lavender before we go, you know, like 30 minutes before we go, so that she's already comfortable. And then sometimes I'll put balance on a little air filter thing. We have a little thing that clips on our air vent, and then it helps too. So yeah, I forgot about that until you said it. But I wonder, I don't know if our dogs would do digestion in a capsule, but I think it would be better if they did, because I know they have like gut things. And she said Terrazyme, which I didn't think about that, but you could break up the Terrazyme and they can do that too, because that would be really, really beneficial, because everything that they're eating is what's contributing to their allergies and stuff. This processed dog food is not really helping them. So that is going to help break that stuff down so that they can get rid of those toxins just like it does for us. So yeah, the PB Assist. I read somewhere that I wanted to check it real quick. Yep. In the very corner, it does say xylitol. So that means this really wouldn't be good for dogs. I don't know what the effect of xylitol is on dogs, because before we did give this to our dogs to try to help their gut. And then she mentioned that. So we stopped it. But then she mentioned the Terrazyme would be better, digestion and Terrazyme. So we're going to do that from now on, try to help our dogs, because for those of you that don't know, the gut is key to any allergies, and it also contributes to anxiety and all those things that are going on. If you can get their gut healthy, just like ours, you'll have less of those issues. We have our gut clean. So the Terrazyme is going to be helping with that, just like the digestion and all. So anything else that you have?
I missed a bottle of around my cats. I'll put a few drops of lavender, geranium, and frankincense in water, and I missed it lightly around some of their beddings, just for stress and just to help, because I have a lot of cats. I have 6 cats at the moment. I have one sick one, but she's separate. It's one of my rescue ones, because I do rescue. So I have cats coming and going in the house. That's why I try and keep it clean with all the On Guard around the house, and diffusing to get rid of, so to make sure my cats don't pick up anything. And so far we've been really good. So, but I do keep them isolated and separate as well.
Yeah, we clean with On Guard too. There's an On Guard cleaner, so we clean with that, like she said. Our floors and their kennel, like every so often, just to, because whatever they're walking around, if you're going somewhere else, like sometimes it's bad to take them to a pet store or something like that. They can pick up colds, they can pick up stuff through their feet and all that. And then if they didn't get it right away, but then you come home and you diffuse the On Guard or you clean with that, right? Then it's going to help their immune system to not not let that sink in, whatever they've been around.
Yeah.
But you know, we also have made our own flea collars. So we take a couple oils and we just drop it. We take their collar off, and it has to be like a leather or some kind of fabric one. But you drop the oils on the collar and you let it just dry, and then you put it on them later, and then it'll deter fleas and ticks and all of that kind of stuff. And it doesn't hurt them. They like it. And there's several oils that you can use with that, and it lasts. We do it like every 7 to 10 days and just reapply it. Because our dog is so highly allergic to fleas that it's ridiculous. So we have to do that because, well, one, I don't want to use the topical ones that have all this other junk in it. That's really not healthy. And two, the internal ones, like same thing. Like this is natural and is going to be better for them. So we do that, and it works wonderfully. And like I will post the recipe. That's going to be the end of our class, and you can always, you know, send a comment underneath it, and I can get back with you.